Good day and welcome back. So, today's video discussion is going to be on uh, fitting up and the fittings you need to hold for your uh, battle cruisers. Now, even though I have advised against going into a battle cruiser, there's going to be enough people who are going to jump straight for it and go straight for a battle cruiser right off the back. So, I'm going to do it video by video, like how I did the cruisers. Now, similarly, I'm going to do the battle cruisers. I'm only going to touch the four main different types. So, one for each class of cruiser that you can have. Okay, so before we get into the actual discussion and the actual topic, I'd like to ask for you to please leave a like or comment on my video and consider subscribing to my channel. And if you don't like my content, leave a dislike and tell me where I'm going wrong. It's always worthwhile to get the dislike in the comment because that can help me make better content in the future, and it could be content that could help you out. Okay, so going straight into what you need to get for your battle cruiser. So moving on into the next week or two, as everybody's going to enter into T7, a lot of players are going to get battle cruisers. And what do you need to fit on your battle cruiser? So today's one is going to be the Cyclone. So, Cyclone Battle Cruiser is going to be number one. It is a Minmatar ship. So, okay, wait, let me just go through with the price and everything. As of this moment, as I'm talking about it, its current selling price is over 365 million a ship. Okay, so let's open its stats. Now, this particular vessel has a velocity bonus on its missile launches in the medium class. It has one plus command burst module slot, and it benefits from advanced medium torpedo research. You gain minus 5% on activation time. That means you fire faster and faster as your levels increase. So when you're at max level 5, it'll be minus 25% from your activation time. And you gain explosive velocity at plus 5% for each level as well. So plus 25%. And its bonus factor is on shield booster amount. Okay, now before we go down, let's have a look here. Its overall defense is 20 25,000. I'm going to estimate it up. And obviously, that's without any research in. Once you add research in, these stats should increase slightly and give you a little bit better of impact on your vessel. Flight velocity is 214 meters per second. Warp speed is 2.7 astronomical units per second. Power output is 708 megawatts. Capacitor is 2,421 gigajoules and a 900 cubic meter cargo hold. Okay, so let's get into your basic info. Okay, we're going straight into the fittings. Now, looking at the description of the ship, this ship benefits from shield boosters. So, immediately, if you're going into a tank build, it's going to be a shield tank. If you're going to use this vessel in the start, you're going to have to think about heavy shielding. Now, this vessel has 5 low slots, 3 combat rigs, 3 engineering rigs. It has 3 mid slot, 6 weapon slots, and 1 drone. So, what type of drone are we going to place on this vessel? This vessel is uh, a missile user. So, missiles have a general type of damage, they do damage across all the aspects. Where you're going to do the most damage, you're going to do the most damage to the structure of the vessel. It's actually going to do the least damage to the structure of the vessel itself, but you're going to do sufficient damage everywhere else because resistances are all the same in structure, so you get cancelled out more at that point. But you keep doing a constant damage throughout your entire attack on the vessel. So, what does this mean for your slots? What are you going to think of putting on it? Number one, a shield hardener, shield extender, and a shield booster. Immediately, those 3 are in. That leaves you with 2 more slots. Your next slot on this vessel, remember, you are a slower vessel than most other ships. Your research is behind. You can't get that maximum range like battle like a cruiser, and ships can close in on range for you. So you're going to have to think about that as you go through with building it up. Also, due to its slight increase in capacitor, it has a slight increase in capacitor recharge time, but it's not comparable to any other vessels in terms of gain. My capacitor recharge time is low on it at the moment because I haven't upgraded anything. So, looking at that, I'm going to be thinking I might think of using a medium acolyte battery on this vessel. So everything has to be elite, obviously, when you're placing on, because we've already reached that stage. And if you're falling behind and you just need a cheap vessel, stick with the cruiser. Don't go to battle cruiser. Use elites on your battle cruiser. And you don't want to just be at acolyte. You want to be going up. You want to be going towards the navy and republic and fleet issue weapons, or the Type C issue weapon. That's where you want to go. You want to go all the way to the maximum range of elite. So let's look at it carefully on the drone slot. So should you run a drone? Yes. Are vessels gonna break through that distance on you all the time? Remember, you're running a slower vessel. So I have said you're gonna run a battery there for a little bit extra capacitor. That's because you're running so much of shield. But what are you gonna run in your fifth and final slot in your low? Now, the one option is obviously to get that little bit of speed from your afterburner, because your afterburner has plenty of research, can lead you up to about the same speed as a Navy caracal before you had any upgrades on your afterburner. So it might be able to reach something like 700 meters per second, not breaking the 8 or 900 meters per second. So what you're going to place in that slot for the final one could be an afterburner, but you would benefit a lot more from a ballistics control system. Now, that improves your missiles and your missile damage, and you can overload it and get 10 seconds of increased damage with your weapons. And considering all of the bonuses on this vessel and where it gains traits from, it gains traits from medium missile research. So using that is going to benefit you more, and your shield booster amount is quite large, so you can regen your shield a lot easier. So using the shield extender to buff up your shield so you can take a bigger beating, and then increasing it even further by putting in um, more capacitor means you're going to be able to run longer, and you're going to be able to negate the effect of energy drain. Okay, now going on with the whole stats going down, its max locked targets is 6. Now, mine might be currently affected by the fact that I haven't opened um, my fleet on its final level till I can get 7 locks, but I don't think it's going to change this. I think this will all stay the same. So, signature radius is 202 meters, scan resolution is 196 kilometers, sensor strength is 14.9. Okay, speed I've already said is quite slow and bulky. So your weapon slots, what are you going to run in terms of weapons? So since you know that this vessel isn't going to be able to orbit well in the start, it's not going to have that edge, and the fact that it has a bulky turn radius and a bulky movement speed, and it is very chunky on how it moves around in terms of the battlefield. What you're going to equip on this is rapid missile launchers. Now, some people might be thinking, but we want to get as much range as possible with this ship, try to get as far away. And I'm telling you that most enemies are going to be able to come into your close range, because you're going to be fighting T7 plus. If you're going to run this against T6, you're going to run all over them. You don't have to worry about running something heavier on the power. Running a torpedo launcher on this might work. I'm not exactly sure. I know it boosts the range of weapons. If it boosts the range of a torpedo launcher to something like 20 meters, then it will be a fantastic way to run it. You might be able to bulldoze through a lot of the heavier enemies. Now, whatever I'm saying right now is what you're going to need right now in the start before you have maxed out your research on your battle cruisers. So, moving on to your mid slot. What should you run in the mid slot for a bulky, heavy ship? Now, as I said, if you're running the afterburner, you're going to get the speed bonus. But if you're not running the afterburner, what is going to be best for you to run in mid slot? Since the ship is bulky and heavy, one of the best options for you to run on this is double Weber Fire and a NOS. Now, as I explained, the three primary bests are shield boosts, and then you're running a Acolyte battery or a higher level battery, and you're running a ballistic system. Now, the ballistic system is to get you that range, get you that power on your weapons. It might allow you to fall back with your torpedoes. You might be able to fight a vessel at 20 kilometers, which is standard range for medium missile launchers. Okay, so moving forward with the whole breakdown on where you're going to be focusing your attack, what type of drone should you run with this vessel? Now, considering that the most annoying thing to deal with is getting through the shields on most of the vessels, I would suggest a EM if you're running into territories where you know they're going to run a lot of shield boost. Example, the Caldari, they run shield boost like mad. They boost up their shields all the time. One or two of them boost up their armor, but they aren't so tough and tanky because Caldari space doesn't have armor tanks. Um, if you're running into Minmatar space, once more go for EM over an explosive type drone because it does more damage to the shield, which is the most tanky parts of those ships. If you're running into Galante, sorry, I've made a mistake on it. I've been calling it Gallant. Galante, and across them will be a Mars space. Remember, they are armor tanks. And if it's a hull tank, I'm not even bothered with which way to go with it. But generally, the armor is stronger than their shields. You can bust through their shields with your missile launchers, and then you can use your drone to help you strip away the armor on the vessel faster. If they're running armor tank, you can eat through them a lot faster, get into the hull of the ship, and destroy it with a little bit of speed. So, moving on, let's talk about rigging the ship. You now have the opportunity to put three rigs on this vessel. So, three rigs on a Cyclone, what am I going to place in it for maximum effectiveness? Now, starting off right in the start, you don't have any effectiveness on the command of the ship. So, in terms of combat, you can either go tank build or you can go combat build. If you're going tank build for this vessel and you want it to be even tankier than what it currently is, you want the 24,000 that it comes with to jump up to 30,000. It's going to be your three shield slots, and you want it to go even higher, maybe 40, 50 million, 40, 50,000 in power. You can put in the shield booster, the shield extender plus 25%. That's shield core 2. I'm not exactly sure on the number, the name, but it's within the shield bonuses. It's in the second league of blueprints. If you're lucky enough to have a shield to have a rig 3 or rig 4, I would suggest you put it on your vessel to give you the best boosts. Are you going to run anything in terms of reduction of shield boost? Yes, you're going to run shield reduction if you're going armor build. You're going to run 25% boost on shield and 25% boost on shield extender. Now, what is that going to do for you? When your shield extender extends on your shield, it's going to increase it by more than its regular amount. So another 600-700 onto the shield makes it nice and tanky, makes it a heavy shield to break through, and it adds in percentage because your shield booster adds a percentage. Your shield extender adds on a percentage on top. Your shield booster recovers a percentage of shield every time that it recovers. So that's how it's going to work for you. So what are the other rigs that you're going to place in the basic engineering of this vessel? You have three open slots. So number one, you're going to increase that capacitor size. Remember, you are running an extra weapon. You are running a full 5 slot of low slot buffs. So what you are going to do for this is you are going to increase your capacity and you are going to increase your recharge rate. So those two are going to mean you're going to have a bigger capacitor. It's going to take you slightly longer to drain. It means that 35% is a little higher than it used to be. It also means that you have a lot more energy till you reach your 35%, where you start worrying about conserving energy. And what is going to be your last slot? Now, you have three engineering rigs here. You can add in the speed boost to give you a faster warp so you can move around with the fleet efficiently. You can add in a speed boost so that you can move faster if you want to put in your afterburner. That way, it will be more efficient. You can reach something near 800 kilometers, maybe, if you're lucky. I'm not exactly sure. And last but not least, if you are going to push it for the most amount of power, you can go into your capacitors. Let me go into those rigs myself. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. I'm just going to go straight into engineering. Okay, let me just look at each one of them. I'll tell you when I find it. Here's it. Capacitor multiplier 20%. This is one that you want to put in. 20% multiplier on your capacitor. That's going to give you 0.2% extra. Recharge time minus 15%. 10% grid boost. Scan resolution adjustment. You don't need to worry about that. Now, you could go for a higher level on your rigs at the moment. If I'm correct, these are available. No. Okay. So it looks like people haven't yet completed enough of the Dead Space to find those rewards. Dead Space 10 definitely has all your super elite gear. It'll have super elite rocket launchers, missile launchers, medium, large, small. Now, those succubus that spawn hit extremely hard in Dead Space missions. I did a Dead Space 6, and those ships actually tore through my armor like it wasn't present on my vessel. So that's a warning for you when you're running into things like that there. If you're going to use a Cyclone in those, run a support ship to boost up that shield like mad. They ate through, uh, let's see, I regened 3 times. I boosted uh, an additional 40% on, and it took me down to just near 75. So 25% plus 40%, that's 60% of my shield got taken down in one shot, plus the addition of 2 regens. That's 6, 12. 12 plus they almost do 80% damage to your shield. So if you weren't running a hardener, or if you're even running a hardener and you get hit hard enough, wait, let me just swap my ships to show you. If you're running a hardener and you get hit hard enough, even with a high class vessel, it's just going to shred right through you. Let's see if this here is affected directly now. It's going to shred right through you most of the time, and in order to kill those succubus, you're going to need enough range and enough power in terms of your fleet. So please think about your fleet coming through with a proper formation, and think about using sufficient power when it comes to. Okay, so here's the actual power on my shield. I can show it to you right now that I'm in it. My shield is. No, it's not showing the right script. It's not showing what I have right now on this very vessel. So anyway, I have quite a powerful shield on this vessel. As you can see from the outer view, it says 17,000. Most of my boost is into shield, so it's most likely an additional 4,000 on top. So I have a 8,000 power on my shield. So it literally ate 8,000 defense in a shield in an instant with one shot. So that's how powerful Dead Space is at level 6. You can only imagine what a Dead Space level 10 is. I'm not going to try and risk it with any of my vessels at the moment. I don't even think it's worthwhile trying it with a trainer. That's how bad it was just going in. So, running in with your brand new Cyclone without all of your research, very bad idea. Running in with a cruiser with full research, great idea. It's going to help you. You're actually going to defeat something. You're going to win overall. You're going to feel happy about how far you get with your combat. And good news for tomorrow. tomorrow we're gonna get the patch coming out with a full list of rewards for the new reward package. Hopefully it kicks in immediately tomorrow. Maybe they award us everything from the day it stopped till today, or it starts tomorrow and moves on till the end of uh, the 30 days, at which point we'll get the next set of 30. Hopefully, it will be a continuous thing and there won't be breaks in between it each time. It's going to be something that we're looking forward to. Plus, we get to find out if they've reduced the exploit of warp disruptors, whether they've reduced the exploit of um, micro warp drives, whether they've basically there's a lot of exploits going on right now with the whole warp disruptor thing. Players have been pulling you out of autopilot at gates and destroying you at the gate, and they've been using the gates lock on uh, to chase a ship outside of the range, and it keeps trying to fire at the ship that's outside of its range on fire. So basically, a lot of players have been doing this here to gain aggro, and then they just orbit the gate at a ridiculous distance. So something like 150, 200 meters away, and the gate still keeps trying to shoot you even though it can't hit you. And you can farm at the gate non-stop because nobody is going to get destroyed from your fleet. That's what they've been doing as an exploit. So just be warned about it. Uh, I'm not sure if they're going with the role of increased firepower on the gates, basically making all the gate safe zones from the high sec all the way to the low sec. I think that's something that should be done. I hope that a lot of you agree with me, and I hope that's the way that it's gonna go in the future. So that's gonna be it for this video. Tomorrow I'll be moving into the next vessel. I might actually do it now just following this video, but have a good day. Thank you.